screaming. They won it by 4 in the end.
American Anthem has taken off. American Anthem easily in the Woody Stevens.
Hi everybody and welcome to Spa Babies, presented by WinStar. I'm Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo, and let's take a look at the field for Friday's Spa Baby race. It is race number 2. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. These are 2-year-old fillies in a maiden special weight, a big full field, and WinStar is well represented. 3 entrants in this race, including the number 4, Ratata by WinStar stallion More Than Ready. Nicole, will begin with the number 1, Lady Blessings. This filly is by the young and talented stallion Shanghai Bobby. What are these fillies' prospects for turf?
Well, Shanghai Bobby really starting to come alive this summer. His first crop has always been very well regarded, but he's a juvenile champion who won early himself. You'd certainly expect him to get some good juvenile types. And, you know, I don't hate them on turf. He's by Harlan's Holiday. That sire line has produced some good turf runners. You see it like Into Mischief with horses out there like Vijack. I think their preferred surface is dirt, but certainly they can get a turf horse.
This filly showed brief speed in her debut for a $50,000 tag. There's a lot of dirt in her pedigree, but she will get Lasix for start number 2 for a solid trainer in Tom Morley. The number 2 is Radiant Beauty. Radiant Beauty is trying turf for the first time, and this one is by Orb, and we had a feeling Orb was going to be a pretty good sire based on the sales results of his first foals, but boy, we didn't expect to be this good on the turf.
Yeah, it's been very interesting. He's had a lot of good winners on turf with, you know, horses like Stakes Placed Earth, Orvolution, who we'll actually talk about in a little bit, running in the PG Johnson on Thursday. He's had a lot of good turf horses, and this one you're doubling down on the turf ability. She's out of a stakes-winning Mizzen Mass mare, and Mizzen Mass is such a good, underrated sire, definitely gets you a turf type.
Lots of changes here. Dirt to turf, blinkers off for a very good barn trainer, Rudy Rodriguez, the 4th dam champion North Sider, and Radiant Beauty sold for a pretty penny, $260,000 back in March. So it's probably too early to give up on this Orb filly. The number 3 is the beautifully bred Add In. We've got a lot of class in this pedigree, a lot of turf in this pedigree. Do you think this filly wants more distance, however?
I think definitely so. This one really strikes me as more of a long distance pedigree, and sometimes you see these horses wind up in a sprint first out just because those are the bulk of the races still being written at this time of year, and the connections are looking to get the horses' feet wet. By Street Cry, who can certainly get you a turf type or a dirt type, very good international sire, out of a grade 2 winning AP Indy mare Let. AP Indy certainly indicates added stamina as well. Let is the dam of grade 1 winner Center Court, grade 3 winner Ravel. It's the immediate family of Japan Cup dirt winner Eagle Cafe. Definitely turf leaning, but there is some versatility in this family. This one I would only look at kind of in exotics to maybe pick up a piece late, but this is definitely one I'm going to circle for down the road. I think a lot of options for her.
I agree. Perhaps we'll see her second time out during the Keeneland Fall Meet. We have a formulator fact for her trainer, Rusty Arnold. Over the past 5 years with 2-year-old first-time starters on turf, only 1 for 24 with a $1.74 ROI. I'm sure they'd be happy with a nice late run, a good gallop out. She comes back safe and sound, and they're able to stretch her out for start number 2. The number 4 is Ratata by WinStar stallion More Than Ready. Now the second dam, champion juvenile filly Countess Diana. What about the distance for this one? More Than Ready can certainly give you some speed.
Well, very much so. More Than Ready definitely injects speed, injects juvenile ability, injects turf ability. Definitely the sort of stallion you're looking for in a race like this. He's having a great year, a great week, even the sire of With Anticipation winner Catholic Boy at Saratoga this week. The Dam Mama Nadine, a stakes winner. Dam of a pretty quick synthetic stakes winner in Royal Sun. I like the prospects for this one, you know, showing some speed in her first start. Was a $350,000 juvenile earlier this year. That indicates to me that they think she's got some precocity.
Nice mixture in the pedigree, to be sure, of speed and stamina. It's also nice to have Chad Brown in the corner for the career debut. Ratata 3-1 on the morning line by WinStar stallion More Than Ready. We've said it many times on Spa Babies this summer. Experience counts, and the number 5 putting you on the news already has 2 lifetime starts, including a solid performance in the career debut on grass.
Yeah, she finished 4th on debut behind Mentality, who goes in Thursday's PG Johnson at Saratoga. A couple of these horses ran against horses that are on the Thursday card. I'd really advise watching those results in your evaluation of this race. So a good 4th on debut behind a pretty classy looking filly in Mentality. 3rd next out in a race taken off the turf, getting back on the turf here. And I do think her first-year stallion, Violence, can get you a turf horse being from that El Prado sire line.
As we see from the pedigree card, a lot of big names, a lot of classy names in this pedigree. She has experience, and she should show speed, and she is a very logical contender in our Friday Spa Baby event. The number 6 is Talk Softly. Talk Softly has raced twice on dirt. Buyer speed figures of 5 and 6. Not promising dirt races, but can we expect a turf wake-up considering there's grass in this pedigree?
Yeah, very much so. I think turf is going to be her preferred surface. Showed some speed on debut against the boys before fading back to 5th. Finished 9th next out, but that race was taken off the turf. That indicates to me that the connections would like to get her there, and I do think that's going to be her preferred surface.
This filly showed good speed in her career debut against the boys, as Nicole mentioned, and her dam was a very fast, multiple stakes winning turf sprinter. This one's 12-1 on the morning line, also getting Lasix for the first time. Definitely one to consider at a price. The number 7 is Super Striking. Super Striking is by Brilliant Speed, who is a very versatile runner. What do you make of the Brilliant Speeds thus far?
Thus far, they've been kind of slow starting, but you know what? He was a little bit as well, so that kind of doesn't surprise me. Being from that Dynaformer line, they've been kind of big, gangly type horses who I think are taking some time to sort themselves out, and that's fine. Brilliant Speed, as you said, so very versatile, a grade 1 performer on 3 different surfaces. This one's out of an Empire Maker mare who didn't win until she was 5. The second dam is grade 1 winner in the Gold. This is another one whose overall pedigree strikes me as more of a long distance, later developing pedigree.
The number 8 is Lyrical Tale, and Lyrical Tale has raced once already for Tom Morley, an even performance in a race that was washed off of the turf, but being a half-sister to the multiple stakes winning turf miler Thundering Sky, she certainly deserves consideration with the surface switch.
Yeah, I think this one should be moving forward here. By Tail of the Cat, good filly sire, good 2-year-old sire, a lot to like there. As you mentioned, a half to Thundering Sky, who's really come alive this summer, kind of getting back on track after being a good stakes filly last year. A nice turf family. I do think there's a lot to like here.
And under the radar contender, to be sure, is the number 9 Mermaid of Honor, who's been entered in turf races twice, washed off both times, showed good speed both times, and has a turf pedigree for a very good trainer.
Yeah, her dam's a half to Fancy Point, who won the PG Johnson on the Saratoga course and was 3rd in the Miss Grillo grade 3 at Belmont later that year. Fancy Point produced Majestic Bonnie, who's by Majestic Warrior, the sire of this filly, 2-year-old debut winner on turf, multiple stakes placed on turf, a lot of European class deeper in the family. This one was 4th on debut, coming out of the same race as Orvolution, who we mentioned, who's going in the PG Johnson also on Thursday. 6th last out in an off-the-turf maiden, won by a well-regarded filly in Sly Roxy after showing some speed. She's faced some nice company. I think turf is where she wants to be, and I think she should put this together eventually at a price.
Last horse in the main body of the field is the number 10 Cipollina, a first-time starter by Scat Daddy, trained by Wesley Ward. We usually expect the Ward-trained first-time starters to show big speed.
Yeah, very much so, and especially when you see a sire like this, Scat Daddy, leading 2-year-old sire, very popular internationally because he can get you a good turf horse. Definite turf and class all over in this female family. It's the family of Nereid, who won the American Oaks, and Sequence winner, who was 2nd in the Belmont Oaks. This maybe wants a little more distant. Look at her at least more of a Tyler type, but I certainly wouldn't throw her out. Ward Barn, as you mentioned.
We kick off the Pick 4 on Friday with race number 2. The early Pick 4, we advise everybody to watch the board as they creep closer to post time. But who are you leaning towards in this race?
Well, as I said, I'm really going to take the results of Thursday's races and use those to help me evaluate moving into Friday's card. But just looking at it on paper, Ratata and Cipollina, both from families that strike with 2-year-olds, both from barns that can win with first out 2-year-olds. Of those two, I would lean toward Ratata simply because I think Cipollina is going to want a little bit more distance. I'm also going to take another look at Mermaid of Honor. As I said, I think she's been running behind some nice fillies and eventually is going to put the pieces together at a price.
I'm with you on Ratata, the number 4 by WinStar stallion, More Than Ready. Ticks just about all the boxes. Got to look at her workout over the Oklahoma training track on August the 20th in company with the older Create a Dream, who's making her 3-year-old debut, I believe, on Saturday. Create a Dream was good enough to earn an 82 Beyer speed figure as a 2-year-old filly. I have a feeling that Ratata is going to come out running 4, 5, 10, 1 for me in Friday's Spa Baby race presented by WinStar.